Have you ever felt overwhelmed by all the research you've done and you're just left unsure as to what to do to turn it into something meaningful and long-lasting? For me, that realization came at the end of last year after 6 years of working as a professional genealogist. And today I wanted to share why I no longer call myself a professional genealogist and how that's changed everything. So grab your coffee and let's talk. When I first started in genealogy in 2019, unfortunately in the fall of 2019, because we all know what happened in the spring of 2020, I had really high hopes that this was my, what would be third career, and I would be able to really dedicate my life to something that I loved, which was doing genealogy research. And it just didn't work out like that. When COVID hit and everything shut down for essentially 2 years in terms of archival research, which was my specialty, was actually going to places to pull the records that people couldn't access online. I couldn't do client research, and I put it off for a while and put people on hold, and then I realized things weren't going to return to normal anytime soon, and I just started doing genealogy content. A lot of you watching this might be familiar with the Your Pennsylvania Ancestors podcast and my website, PA Ancestors. I wrote 2 books on Pennsylvania genealogy, and during all that time, while I'm waiting for things to sort of calm down, for things to be less political, less emotional for people, I don't know, some sort of normalcy to return, I just realized that that's not going to happen. And I realized I wasn't spending time on things that mattered to me. And what mattered to me was telling my family stories and leaving a legacy for my children and my extended family. Quite frankly, my genealogy work for my family was a total mess. So I did what I always do in these situations when I feel like I'm overwhelmed, is I start reading a ton of books. As you can tell, I got a ton of books. I have even more books over here. And there's a whole section here on family history writing, and reading that and reading those and reading blogs and reading Substacks and YouTube videos, I read a ton on how to write family history and tips and tricks and everything. And guess what? I had left still overwhelmed. I still didn't get into action about writing my family history. So my new solution is this, and you are my co-conspirator. So if you're watching this, you are part of my solution. To hold myself accountable and to show you what I'm doing, I am going to be publishing videos showing my process of writing a family history story. And this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be showing my process. I write a lot with the assistance of AI. When I do my normal genealogy work, I use it for making an outline, brainstorming ideas, checking my work when I'm done, making sure I've spelled everything correctly. So I am going to show you how I'm incorporating AI into writing my family history. I'm going to show you templates that I'm creating for myself, processes, and then the final product, which is going to be really scary. I'm just so you know, I'm terrified of showing the final product because I don't know what it's going to be like. And it might be terrible. It might be great. I don't know. I'll also show you how I've organized my piles of research. I've got piles of stuff that I've collected from courthouses, archives, genealogical societies, historical societies, public libraries, things like that. But a lot of the historical context, right, of the time that they lived in, the places that they lived. I want to include a lot of that in the stories that I'm telling about my family. So the good news is if you're watching this, you're one of like the few people that watch any of my videos. So there's hardly anyone watching these. So this is just like our little secret. Like this is like between you and me. We're going to work on this stuff. I'll show you what I'm doing. Don't tell anybody. Just keep it to yourself. I am going to publish the tutorials and the steps of what I'm doing over on my website, which is on Substack. So if you're familiar with Substack, great, you might be able to find me over there. If not, just look for the link in the description. And I hope it helps you. It's helping me because I'm going to be holding myself, as I said, accountable to get some of this done and published, because that's my goal, because that is really my goal. And you know, if you're a member of PA Ancestors still lives. I'm still publishing about Pennsylvania genealogy. It's still where all my family's from, except for one guy. There's always this one guy, right? It just doesn't follow the rules in our family tree. I'm gonna tell the story I want to tell for my family, and we'll just see where that takes me.